So, Grandad, Marky sent me some questions. He's doing a project at school, a report. And Mark. Little Mark, you know, little Mark. And I'm supposed to ask you these questions and see what your opinion is. Okay? Talk loud. Yeah, you got to talk loud.
You got to talk loud.
All right. Okay. What school? Does he want to know how many schools he attended? Or? Okay, what school did you attend?
Turner, well, at Fairview first, and then I went to Turner for the last 4 years.
Okay, last 4 years.
Yeah.
So you went 12 years to school?
Yeah, went 12 years. I went to Fairview, you know, a little old school we had out there, and then I went in Turner for the last 4 years.
A full 12 years?
Huh?
Did you go full?
Yeah, I went to school 12 years, and when I graduated from high school, me and that else girl, the oldest girl, was the only ones in it.
Well, how old were you when you graduated?
Oh, I guess I was about 18, 17 or 18. I went to school so very long.
Okay, do you remember what was the name of the first president you remember?
What?
The first president of the United States?
First president? Let's see, I don't remember.
That you remember when you were little?
First president? So many of them I can't remember the first one, but it went way back there.
Well, it's the one while you were living, while that was...
I know, but it's one I was trying to think of the first one I ever heard him mention. It seemed to me like it was Taft.
Good Lord.
Taft.
But that would be before you was born, though, wouldn't it?
No.
Oh.
And see what Warren G. Harding, that's when our first baby was born, you know. That's how come us to name him Warren, you see.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We named him after Warren G. Harding.
Oh.
Well, how neat.
Yeah.
Okay, so how many brothers and sisters do you have?
Let's
Do you
see.
have?
11?
No. Just all together. Say them out loud.
Let's see, Daddy, 11, Mamie, Annie, and Ruby. I guess I'll name them Maddie, Lola, Mamie, Annie, and Ruby. How many is that? Maddie, Lola, Mamie, Annie, and Ruby.
And Laura.
Oh, she's a half.
Well, she's your sister.
Well, she said sisters, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I meant with both families.
Yeah.
Well, that baby.
Be 6.
Yeah, be 6.
Well, that's 6 sisters and...
And I had Archie and Woody and Uncle John.
3 brothers.
3 brothers.
Okay. He wants to know what the schools were like when you were a child.
What?
Was it like Little House on the Prairie? Well, you remember the story of the program Little House on the Prairie with the one-room school?
Oh, yeah.
Was it like that?
Oh, it was kind of like that, I'll tell you. Sat out there, sat out by itself, you know, where Uncle Cecil's house.
Yeah.
Sat out there, and we had just one old long building, and had one teacher there one time. I can remember that, and 65 people, big ones and little ones.
Oh, really? All in one room?
All in one room, and I remember me and Jessica Abels were a boy that I run with all the time. The darn minute teacher called us up, and we'd read, and she'd put one of us on one side, on one other, and she'd go ahead and have lessons, and we'd read her reading. Sure. If we come to a word we didn't know, we'd stop, ask her what's that word, we'd reach over and put her finger on that word.
Oh.
Had a long bench in front of her, you know, and she had an old wooden desk, and we'd stand on each side of her in the class. She'd hold it and would be right over there. And she'd have 2 at once, you know, got all done.
Okay. Okay, your next question is, do you have any special memories of what you did after school each day?
After school each day? Yeah, I did. I went home and done my work. I had to bring in firewood and stove wood. we'll get that. Everybody had a job of their own, all kids, you know.
Yours was bringing in the wood, huh?
Yeah, mine was getting that wood in. I was trying to cut it, you know.
Oh.
Okay, so did you do anything else? Did you feed or anything?
Yeah, I hope Mama around the place, you know, with chickens, shutting chickens up. She'd always close no end chickens up. I'd have to close the cook because she raised a big bunch of them all the time.
Yeah.
You never had to kill any, did you?
Huh?
You never had to kill any, did you?
Yeah,
Wring their necks and stuff?
sometimes she taught me how to wring their neck. She wouldn't turn them loose, their head come off, you know.
I remember Grandma doing that when I was a little girl.
She'd get them just about twice and their heads come off. You know.
Okay, let's see. The next question is, did you ever go on vacation when you were a kid?
No, I never did. The only vacation I ever had, but we had our big time when in the fall when we'd get through gathering the cotton crop. My dad had put us all in that old three-seated hack and carry us to Gatesville and buy our winter clothes. And we'd stop down there. He'd buy these old big crackers that come in wooden boxes and them old round, what do you call them, cheese?
Yeah, long, I guess.
Yeah, slice them all. And we'd stop out there at that spring just side of Gatesville, start back home. He'd water his mules and we'd all eat crackers and cheese. Take all day to go down and get her clothes, don't get back home.
Oh, no. Okay. Okay, this question, what responsibilities did you have at home when you were growing up?
What responsibility?
Yeah. Like, what did you know you had to get done besides your chores, I guess?
Besides what I had to do?
Besides what that cutting the wood business.
What other work?
Did you have to keep your little brothers and sisters? Or?
No, I didn't ever have to look after them.
He was young.
Oh, you were the youngest?
I always had to help do the feeding every night, you know.
Okay.
His team, you know.
Did you ever have to do any gardening or anything? Or
Yeah, I always helped plant the garden every time they went out to plant the garden. I'd plant onions and potatoes, you know, and everything. I know when we was putting out onions, you know, them little sets, they had little sprouts on some of them. And Ruby'd come out and help us, you know, and she'd put the head of it down. And Mom would get after her, you know, want to set them straight up, you know, all the time. I'll never will forget that. Ruby's little, and she'd follow us around. She didn't want to stick her down bottom.
Okay. Next one is, at what age were you when you learned how to drive?
I was about 15, just about 15 years old. No, I was about 60.
16. Who taught you how to drive?
Huh?
Or did you teach yourself? Or?
Well, there's a guy come out there home, and Zeke Taylor, he's selling cars for Mercantile in Orbeck in Clifton. He was a salesman, and he sold my dad an Overland 90, and he taught me how to drive it. Well, one night he come over there to demonstrate to my dad, you know, and we rode around with him, and he made me drive. I could drive it pretty good, you know. And my dad didn't make up his mind that day, and so Zeke spent the night with us. They had a party over there in Stringtown somewhere. I don't remember what place, but Zeke wanted to go with a girl. It was two school teachers. They had two teachers at Prairie View at that time, and they was boarding over there where Lawson lived, where that place James has got. He wanted me to go over there with him, and I'd ride to one of them girls, you know, he made a date, you know. So he let me drive that night, drive that car. I thought I was it. We got over there, up there where Von Gilmore's place, and had a wire gate there where you went into Stringtown Fields, you know. We had to go in and go down towards them for roads. So I got up that gate, and I said, whoa. And the thing didn't stop me, run through the didn't hurt nothing, you know. It just kind of scratched the fender a little. That was my first experience of driving.
And what kind of car was it?
Overland 90.
Overland?
Overland 90. You see, they put that out, and they didn't make too many of them. Mm-hmm. And my dad, he bought the thing, and I drove it and run around a while. And I didn't keep it I wasn't there very long. I went to the oil field. RQ and them wanted me to come down there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you remember how much the gas was when you were buying it?
I'd buy anywhere from 8 and 10 cents a gallon. Drive up to the pump there at Holder's store and had full a gallon at a time. Little pump, you know, and you'd run a gallon up and you'd have to run it back down and get another gallon.
Gosh.
Yeah.
It'd take us all day to do our cars nowadays.
Yeah. I've got some pictures in them old pictures somewhere of that car. Uncle R.V. was me, and he was with Mary Williams, and I was with Alma Shoes. And we had the picture made on that bridge going from Clifton to Valley Mills.
Huh.
Yeah, it's supposed to be in that.
Okay. The next question is, who was your very first date?
My who?
Your very first date.
Alma Shoes.
Alma Schultz. Where'd y'all go?
Oh, we went everywhere around her Springs. I'd ride a horseback over to Brazier's. They was farming some of Schultz's land in Myrtle Burge here. And she run with Myrtle Brazier. And that's how come me to recognize her when she come here. I'd ride that far over that horseback with the Braziers. And Murgis had 3 brothers. And we'd all walk from her over and I'd pick up Alma, you know, we'd all walk to hers to the big meetings. I'd leave my horse tied up there, you know, and then we'd walk back there.
Okay, so meetings as far as like preachers?
Yeah, I have a town meeting, you know.
Like the tabernacle thing?
We always call them camp. There's her Springs where that old tabernacle is.
So that's what you went for, a date?
Yeah.
That was your date?
That was my first date.
Oh, my word.
Yeah. We'd walk to church every night, you know, I'd go over there.
Okay. Okay, but how old were you when you did that?
Oh, I was just about the time I was getting out of school when I done that.
So about 18?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, how old were you when you married Grandma?
Oh, I married in April. In June, I'd have been 21. So I was 20.
20 years old.
Yeah.
And?
Yeah, I believe it was the 6th of April, they said there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was 21 on 28th of June, you see, after that.
Okay, now, can you describe your first home you ever lived in?
You and Mother.
Oh, yeah. Over there where J. Hugh Jones lived, there was 2 houses. There was an old log house and then a little house set out to the side. And I rented that thing from Dr. College. Moved there, and that's where Warren G. was born.
Was it a 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom?
It was a 2-bedroom. We had a kitchen and just a big old room, and then a kitchen shed off the back, you know. And we went to Goldswaite. Me and Mama carried Grandma to Goldswaite to see Grandpa and Aunt Mary, they called her. And while we was gone, well, let's see, that was about time. What year did J.K. marry? That was 20-something. It's gone. Anyhow, he was going with her. I don't know whether they was married at that time or not, but I'll come to his wedding directly. And we went to Goldswaite. Had a floor. I had a strip in the crack in the floor right beside of her bed. And Mom had been after me to stop that hole up. One night I started to bed before we went on the trip. That's over. Snake stuck his head up through there.
Oh, no.
I turned the light out. Just before I turned the light out, I started getting to bed. That thing's head sticking up through there. Then he brought his head back down. In a few days after that, I told him all that. Mama did too. And while we was going to go away, J.K. and Thelma come there and were going to stay there. And they found that rattlesnake got laid out the back kitchen door. Had one door where he went out the back. He was coiled up right by the side of the doorstep. They killed him while we was gone.
Oh, no. He's going to... Okay.
When they got married down at Hearst, a big meeting was going on, you know, and Mr. Puckett, J.K. didn't know whether they'd object to him or married. So they made her, got the preacher to go down the tree down, the big tree down there behind where Uncle Mike lived, you know. That's where they were going to meet. They wanted me to watch Mr. Puckett. If he started down that way, I was going to jump in the car and come around down there and pick him up and leave, you know. So I had to sit on guard, and they got married, but he never did say anything about it, you know. Yeah. Oh, boy.
Okay. What kind of stuff did you and Grandma do when y'all were first married, you know, like for a social life?
Huh?
Did you just go to meetings, or you and Grandma, when you first got married, what did you do to have fun?
Oh, well, I don't know whether we had much fun or not.
What did you? Oh, you went and visited neighbors. Did
Oh,
you
yeah,
play, or did you?
We worked like son of a gun. No, I had a crop out of where I was working
Yeah.
there at home on the hay, and we'd work and we'd go to church down at Hearst. You know, she always went to church. Her daddy, you know,
Yeah.
made her go to church all the time from little. She played the piano all the time, you know. She played for all the big meetings and everything. So that's why we had to make preparations to go. We went all the time.
Well, did y'all have parties in everybody's houses?
Yeah, we had parties around and just go from one place to another.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of them would give us some kind of entertainment to do, and they'd play this. Let's see, what was it saying when they was going around? I don't know, I had a song they sang with it all
And
the
you
time.
dance?
No, that's the kind of dance they do, you know. Give my time a roll. Yeah. And then we'd go to parties and they'd play snap. You know what that is, don't you?
Mm-mm.
Well, they'd go in and you'd snap the girl and then they'd go outside, you know, and bury the girl, you see.
Mm-hmm.
That's before you married, though, wasn't it?
Well, then we'd play with them after the other young folks. There wouldn't be enough, you know, and they'd want everybody to play, you know. That's the kind of games we'd play. Something like that.
You got a boy and a girl, and what'd you do?
They would go out.
Just go out there and stand there and talk and hold hands, you know.
Oh.
They'd go back and snap somebody else. They'd come and they'd take this and your place. You'd see
Tired of him.
in and out all the time. Get something to be doing something.
Huh. Okay.
We'd go on picnics. They'd have Sunday school picnics, you know. Go down there at Neal Creek Bridge and camp out down there.
Did you do most of the cooking, or did Grandma? Did the women do most of the cooking, or did the men?
The women done the cooking, fixed stuff.
What'd the men do?
We caught fish. Fried them.
So you brought in the food and they cooked it.
Yeah. They fix up lunches, you know, and we'd carry a fishing outfit and fish out of Neal Creek, you know.
Yeah. Okay. How do you think the Depression affected your family?
What?
How do you think the Depression affected your family?
Oh, boy. Hit them pretty hard, I'll tell you. Yeah. My dad worried that Depression hit. They closed the bank, you know. He didn't have but just a little bit of money, and he worried about what he was going to do. So, of course, it wasn't closed, but about 3 days I got everything straightened up. Yeah, that was a hard go, but I mean.
A lot of people lost everything they had.
Oh, Lord, he had he buys sugar by the barrel, come in a wooden barrel. Mm-hmm. And he just bought one from John Hogan there at Turnerville. And when that Depression come on, you know, they got to calling stuff, and then World War I was coming around, and they come in picking that sugar up, and he sent that whole barrel back. And they sold it out for a high price, John Hogan did. They called for a lot of stuff people had stored up, you know, back. Boy, it was rough.
Huh.
29, 30.
You mean they took it away from you?
Well, he just volunteered and give it up. A lot of people didn't give it up. A lot of people had stuff stored up and never would turn it loose.
Oh, so he did
They
it.
buy it big quantities of time, you know. We wasn't able to buy it that way.
Huh.
He'd order sugar by the barrel and order syrup from Mississippi and ribbon cane syrup by the barrel. Yeah. You talk about a rough time. After I was married 29 and 30. That was rough. Oh, that was right after Ain't Norma was born, you see.
Well, tell me about that.
Oh, man, he got where people didn't have nothing hardly. Then Ain't Norma, you know, she got sick on me. Mm-hmm. I was moved over there to Stringtown, you know, had that place. I made the best crop I ever did make. I had 17 bales gotten that year. And I went around looking for cotton pickers one day. Normally was sick. I'd gone trying to find them, and Uncle John got the bunch, went in, and that night I come back in there, and Mr. Brill had normally over Mr. Brill. And he called me and said, "What do you want to do with this cotton I got?" I said, "What cotton?" He said, "Well, say you got 9 bales sitting on the wharf over at Janet Turner." And they quit that day, you know, while I was out looking for pickers. I said, "Sell them things right quick." And they got 20 cents a pound for them. That's when it broke me from farming. I had taken everything I'd made. I had a good oat crop, made 60 bushels of oats per acre. Had to sell all the oats. I just went out of the business.
And what year was that?
That was in 29. 28, she was born 28, wasn't she? Yeah.
Yeah.
28.
I was born 23.
That was in 28.
He farmed after that, but it wasn't...
Well, I quit farming then, and we moved from there right up behind 8 inches in that bungalow house, and I went to work for old Lady McCoy. I worked for her off and on for a long time, and then my dad finally got me to move back over at home, and he was there by his Henry Mama, you know. We moved back over there, and I worked that place for 36 on the half.
Okay.
That's the wages till Old and Whitley got me into the school over there at Turnbull.
Yeah. Do you remember what you were doing when World War II broke out?
I was working at school.
Oh, you was already at the school then?
Yeah. I remember that speech that Roosevelt made. Boy, that's the best speech. They put us all in the auditorium, you know, and he really did make a speech that day. I never will forget it. Best president we ever did have.
That was my next question.
Yeah.
Do you remember what World War II did? You remember the effects World War II did to your family? You know, how many people were still, how many kids do you still have when World War II broke out? Were they all at home?
That's all I did. No, were you at home?
No, I was
I
was in school. Yeah, I was in college.
Yeah.
And I married right after that.
See?
And so did you help her go through school, or did you put your own self through school?
No, I got...
She got...
Grants?
Grants.
Yeah.
So did you have to cut back on stuff because of the war?
Yeah, they run short of money there at school, you know, and we all worked with a pink slip of paper for 3 or 4 months. We didn't know what teachers were. We didn't know what...
IOUs or something?
Yeah. Just give us a pink slip of paper. They had a county superintendent at that time at Gatesburg, you know. And they run short of money. The state hadn't put in any money, you know.
And they had to ration food, too.
Huh?
They rationed food, too.
Yeah, they rationed food, you know. And I bought stuff there on the credit see from John Owen. That's why our money coming in. And we got $45 a month. That was what we was getting. Yeah. 45 work a month for $45.
Okay, you said that Roosevelt you thought was the greatest president.
Greatest president we ever had.
How come?
Huh?
Why?
Well, he's smart. He stopped that World War II. He went after Germany. Boy, I'm telling you, that's when he declared war on Germany. See, they were sinking their ships as they were going across with submarines. And he said it sunk enough. It sunk to last, and said we're going to put a stop to it. And he did what I mean.
Okay. What historical event has had a great effect on you?
Huh?
What historical event has had the greatest effect on you?
I don't know what that means.
Like the people going into space, or I can't think of anything historical.
It's something that don't happen very often, you know, something that...
I thought that was a great thing. I watched it all the time. When they went to the moon.
The moon? Yeah.
That first trip to the moon. I've always watched all of them, you see, every time one of them shuttles takes off. Let's see.
Okay, what do you see as the greatest improvements in society?
Since you were born.
Greatest improvement. Man, there's been a lot of improvement in that. I couldn't tell you just what was the greatest.
Well, electricity.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you what was the greatest. There have been so many of them.
Okay. Do you know what the biggest wrong, the wrongdoing?
Huh?
What do you think is the biggest wrongdoing in society today?
The wrongdoing.
Yeah, thank you.
Gosh, everything's been so bad.
Like, Jim, what's your name?
Well. Maybe drugs.
I'll tell you, drugs and everything like that's what's tore up this world. It's broke up everything. That's what I think's been.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I think that's the greatest thing. It's done more wrong for the country than anything is this drug business. And I thought whiskey drinking was bad, but when the drugs come along, it's worse, because been a lots of murders and things done if they'd be on drugs, people just, I don't guess they knew anything of what to do, or what they're doing, when they commit them crimes.
Okay, what advice do you have for the young people today?
Well, I'll tell you, my advice is to go to school, learn all you can, finish, get an education, that's it. So you're going to have it. The world's changing every day.
Just look how much it's changed since you were
that's what I think. Look up to the good man above you. If you're getting tired, ask him to help you. And he'll help you.
Okay.
That's all. I've had some of them old boys and girls over at Turnbull said I wouldn't never finish high school if it hadn't been for you.
Oh, for you?
Yeah, it made me feel good. So to come back and tell me that.
Probably because you were the one that went and got them.
Yeah. Mr. Patterson said I wouldn't have won of mine if I'd hadn't waited for him. Yeah, wait every time I see him. I'll tell you right now, Mr. Olson, one of my kids ever finished high school or went to school, you hadn't waited for him.
Yeah, nowadays they don't wait for you.
I wasn't supposed to wait for just so long, but I'd wait,
Kid has to hightail it after school and get on the bus. And yesterday he left his house key in the locker, and he had to break into the house.
Oh.
How do you do that?
Well, I leave the kitchen window open, and he took the screen off, and he could unlock the door, or have a spare key hanging there.
Yeah.
Or is there anything else you want to say to Michael and Mark and Dennis and Arlene? Because they're going to listen to this tape.
Jacob, let's just tell them not to believe what I tell you.
Well, they got to believe it. Okay.
I never would have thought of that if I'd have knew you.
Well, Mark's going to make an A on that subject.
Sure.
Oh, Lord. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I can tell a whole lot more, but I just can't think of any more right now.
Okay.